Okay, I think we're live. I think we are live. Well, welcome to another stream. Something different. Something different again. I mean, I do a lot of different things. I get bored if I keep doing the same thing. So I wanted to revisit this again, and I'll explain in a minute why. But I've just noticed, actually, why is this font not saving? I have changed this so many times now. So the front one, which is like the neon effect, is the font that I think is really good. And yet, when I go into the font for this, it's really odd. It keeps going back. So this one's working fine. Can I copy that? Oh. Ah, there you go. So for some unknown reason it put 001 on the end. And when I change the font to 001, see, I can now see the two things are using that font. Interesting. Let me save that again, because every time I keep going in here, it's not saving the font. Well, there you go. Hopefully that'll have done it now. I'm quite liking the skull and crossbones as a backdrop. But anyway, what I was doing was this. Now I'm actually really happy with this hula hoop and the way it's working and all the rest of it. And I think I need to make it spin faster. What have I selected? Oh, I've selected. Okay, scale on that is out, isn't it? So I really like the effect of this glass. It's kind of, you know, a hoop, and then you've got the lights on the inside doing their thing going around. So what I've done today, now I don't think this is going to work actually. No, it isn't. So I swapped over. I've got another version of Blender running, and I wanted to show what I had made today. Let me, if I save this, can I, okay, what I might do, can I not just import that? Okay, let me see if I can import this other. What I've done is I've designed a different type of hoop, and the experience that I've learned on this, making this hoop, has actually been quite a good. It's been a good learning to get it going. So this was the original. This was the original hoop, and it's just literally starts off as a curved circle, and then you add mesh onto it. You turn it into mesh, and then it's obviously, you know, divided up, applying material to each of those, and then basically animating a color. But it doesn't look real, and so what I've done is I've put another tube around the lights tube, and, you know, given it that kind of glow and transparency and such like, and it now actually really looks like a proper hoop. And what I done today is see if I can bring it in. I'm pretty sure now I don't think I can import a Blender file. I have to append and we want to go into objects, and I need to bring in lights and tube. Okay, yep, append, boom, there we go, we brought it in. Let's just go GZ. Okay, so this is interesting, isn't it, because the other one is bigger. Right. That's better. Right. Scale, Shift Z. Right, let's make it the same size as that one. I don't really, because most of the hoops, as far as I know, I'm not a hoop expert, but most hoops that I've really seen are pretty much all the same size. Okay, so that's interesting. Looked to me like it was bigger, but it isn't. Okay, it doesn't make any difference anyway. So it's about the same size. That's absolutely fine. So let's stop this 1 minute because it's a bit blinding. Let's I love that. I just really like that effect. It's really cool. Yeah. Okay. So let's just leave those on there 1 minute. So what I did today was I thought I want to create a hoop that's got different and I might obviously change the colors and everything. So I just kind of I had a bit of a break in between doing programming and stuff today, and so that's the tube, and that's what I did on the inside. So I created the same thing, did exactly the same thing, but I thought wouldn't it be neat if I could get, now this has got more segments in it. So this has got 20 segments in there. So I've got equivalent of 5 colors, which now this will be interesting. Did my materials come over? Oh, they did. Oh, wow. Okay. This just gets better and better. It really does. Okay, so so what I was thinking, 5 different colors this time. Actually, I might, when I was thinking about this, I might, because I might be overcomplicating it a little bit, but I thought the other type of hoop that I've seen is where there are there's like 4 colors, or yeah, so there's 20 segments. Actually, no, that would work, wouldn't it? So what? Yeah, no, that would work. So I was thinking along the right line. So 5 colors, and each color has 4 segments, and then I was going to make them like 1, 2, 3, instead of alternating them around like I did on this one underneath. What I was going to do was make like 4 in a row, 4 in a row, 4 in a row, and do it that way, and then have them. And I might do them slightly. I don't know whether to do them slightly different, because each material, which is 5 materials, can have 2 colours, and I was thinking have it slightly different. So if you have a red one, you'd have like a deep red and a light red, and then a deep purple and a light purple, and then, you know, a bright yellow and a dull yellow, and things like that, and then have them alternating like that. This little project, I mean, it might seem really simple, but it's really kind of expanding my creativity with the possibilities with this, and you know, things that you can do with it. I mean, it's actually really quite amazing. Yeah, it's really quite amazing. So this is going to be the second hoop now. So really what I need to do is to copy, I just love that effect. So what I need to do really is copy the nodes from this and move the nodes over so that I can create onto each material, and then I can change the colors and the patterning and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I know what I've already done wrong on this one. Well, actually, if this works out okay, I might make this one a slightly different pattern and then copy the idea, because I think this is going to be more realistic rather than the one that's down the bottom. I like the one down the bottom, is different, but I think this one that I've made with cutting the segments in there, I think it's going to be more realistic, especially when it's spinning. But anyway, yeah, I mean, this is only going to be potentially 20 seconds long, maybe 30 seconds long, as a kind of a... I don't think it'll leave me that long. I think it'll be 20 seconds long maximum. I think that's all it's going to be. So I think this is going to look really good. I really do think it's going to look good. One minute. Bear with me 1 minute. Okay. Right, so I've got 5 colours. I should be able to get through this relatively quick because I've already done the hard work with nodes. So let's go into shading. If I select that one, I basically need to copy that bunch of nodes. See now, if I actually I can group them, can't I? Actually, there's no point. They're not that big. I was going to say it'd be really neat if I could just group them and then have And I'm not a node expert by any means, but it'd be really neat to have, you know, a node group function that basically I could just plug straight into the material output, where I could change the colors, change the frequency, and all that kind of thing. That would be really something. So let's copy that. We need to go now to the lights, and I need to now that I've copied it, I can get rid of that, copy that, connect that to that. Okay, and these are all going to be the same at the moment because obviously I haven't changed the colors, but I'm just going to put that node group into each of them. And at the moment they're going to all have the same color, but oh, don't do this. Okay, let me save this. I don't want to lose it. Right. Sometimes Blender seems to do that. It kind of says, hang on a minute while I think about what you're doing, and then it goes into a bit of a scary moment of saying not responding. I know this is still beta version 2.92, but it's damn good. I do like it. In fact, I use this more now than I do 2.91. It's stable enough for the kind of stuff that I do. I mean, they do say, you know, don't use it on working projects, but there are so many people that I follow, especially on YouTube, but also here on Twitch as well, who are using 291, and I mean I dabble with 293 as well. So, you know, and I mean that's a real, you know, alpha version, but it works. If it works, then, you know, I'm not really pushing Blender enough, I don't think, to warrant worrying about losing vast amounts of work. So if we go in here, they're all going to be the same. They're all going to be the same. So what I need to do now, what I'm thinking of, so I need to have 5 groups, 5 separate groups of 4 segments. Basically, that's how I did these. So actually, I'm going to leave the first one. The second one, I need to change the colors. So I can just actually, because I've already allocated the material slots to each of these, although I did them in alternate, so I don't think that's really a good idea. I didn't do them in groups of 4. I think what I should do is do them in groups of 4 first. So we need to go into edit mode. Let's go back here because it's just easier. So if I start at the top and we give that color 1, see if I say that's how I had it up, and I'd split it again, you see. So I've got five materials, but I split them, you know, evenly all the way around, and I think that's just going to be too similar to the first hoop that I've done, and I want to make them look different. So deselect. Let's just start here. I didn't. I was going to do it again. Right, let's start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to assign the first lot, and then select the second. One. Oh no, hang on a minute. Just deselect. Deselect. Oh. Select 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. So they are selected. Okay, so now we go here. I need to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Assign. Deselect. That's right. Select the third color. C. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assign. Deselect. So now I need that one there. Color 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assign. Deselect. Now I need the last 4 on the 5th color. 1, 2, 3, 4. Assign. Deselect. Okay, so now if I go all the way around, ooh, that's interesting. Why am I getting what? Oh, you're kidding me. I didn't click on that. Oh. Okay. I get it. We'll have to go around and do all that again because I didn't have X-ray mode on. Ah. Sir Sags. I think it's Sir Sags. Sage. How are you? Sorry, I've only just noticed I'm making a cock up of what I'm doing here. Good to see you again. Ah, okay, Sir Sags. Okay. A lot of streamers just like pick one word, don't they? Because obviously you try to pick a name in Twitch that's unique and different, and sometimes the names are already taken. So, but yeah. How are you? Oh, right, okay. Yeah. I had to go out. I've been busy all day today. And had to go out. So this is actually later for me in the day. I don't normally stream at this time. It's normally earlier. So... 2, 3, 4. Oh, I need to not select any. Come on. There we go. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, that's quite a different time difference then, isn't it? 2:23. So that's behind, isn't it? Because it's 8:30 p.m. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm working on today is this hula hoop thing that I'm doing, because I've designed a slight. I kind of been thinking since I did this other one. Yeah, I can make anyone fall asleep. Sometimes I wonder if that's what I do with people. 11:24 p.m. Okay, that's interesting. That's even further away. Wow. Larak Scene. I like the names. I love the names people choose. I don't know whether you've seen. Yeah, exactly. I know, it's really weird, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely. Mind you, I tell you what, I find Twitch fascinating, because I will get up at you know, 5 a.m., 5 or 6 a.m., and typically I will, you know, I will start working at that time, but I'll always open up Twitch because I follow so many really good people, and I just have them in the background, and there'll be maybe just one, you know, I'll have one that I'm listening to. I don't listen to everyone, but yeah, there are people literally around the globe: Australia, Asia, Africa, India, you know, Europe and the Americas, up, you know, up north of Europe, Russia. It's just fascinating how you can talk to people literally all over the world, pretty much any time of the day. You know, it's just fascinating. So I don't know whether you saw the first part or even the other streams that I did of this. So I kind of, when I did this hula hoop down here, I kind of had a, yeah. So I've been playing with the one in the back here. Hang on, let me just make this bigger so it's easier to see. All right, so this is kind of what's happening. So that was my first attempt at a hula hoop with flashing lights, which I didn't think looked really that realistic. I was quite pleased with the effect, but then what I did on the next stream was I put a tube around the lights, the hoop that was like lit, made it transparent, gave it some, oh god, I can't remember the technical terms of it now. Yeah, obviously it's got transmission, but there's something I can't remember what it's called. It's like a really weird name to do with glass. Anyway, refraction, that's it. So you add obviously emission and then refraction, and it looks a little bit more realistic. It's not obviously not spinning fast enough, but you know, it's got to look a bit more realistic, like a proper hula hoop. And then I thought, well, this was yesterday. I thought these things play on my mind a little bit. I'm always thinking about how you can do something differently, and I thought it'd be better if I produced the similar concept, because I think it works, but then break up the lights on the inside, and so that's kind of where I am at the moment. And I thought that what I would do is, let me just stop that. So I've got all of these, and this is basically how they're going to be, and I think this will make it look more realistic. And then I'm going to have, so there's 20 segments. I'm going to have five groups of 4 segments, and I'm going to colour them in groups of 4 as well, and not do them kind of opposites like the hula hoop underneath. But that's where I'm at anyway. That's where I'm at. So I've just copied the nodes all over into each of the materials, and I was kind of really making a mess of selecting the groups. Right, so I need to deselect all of that lot. So now what I'm doing is I'm going to assign each. Yeah, thanks. I like working on this kind of stuff. This is not commissioned work, and I just love learning. I just really love learning in Blender. You know, it's just kind of mind blowing what you can do. So let me switch that. This is the mistake I made in the beginning, was I went and selected all these groups and then didn't turn on the X-ray mode. So I'm going to select. Why are you not selecting? I'm not in edit mode. Honestly, sometimes I seem such an amateur. Right, okay. So I'm going to do the color distribution of materials like that, and then yeah. So Larrick scene. It won't take you long to go to sleep. If you're probably already asleep. So I'm going to assign that color to them. Deselect. Yeah, now it's working properly. Else you were making a couple of days ago. I went to learn how to do. Ah, okay. Yeah, texture baking. Texture baking is a hell of a lot better in the latest versions of Blender. It used to be so haphazard before. So frustrating because you would spend so much time getting all the materials correct and textures applied and all of those things, and it used to be such a nightmare to try and get texture baking. But yeah, I will be doing texture baking for sure. I love texturing stuff actually. It's quite I kind of, I know it sounds really weird, but I find Blender therapeutic. You know, even when you make mistakes and you have to go back and do it again, like this, you know, I've already made a mess of this already, but I find it therapeutic. Yeah, I like to learn and I like to chill out, you know, and it's just really good to. So 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Assign, deselect, select. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'll go this color. Ah, okay. You came from the mansion videos, yeah. I wouldn't call it amazing. Behind your word amazing there's an awful lot of builds. I can tell you, not hundreds, but I would say dozens. A lot of builds I've learned over the years, but I am really enjoying Victorian house build, and I kind of was a little bit worried that people might get bored of me doing the same thing all the time, and I used to, but I don't sell anymore in Second Life. No, but I am thinking of doing it again because I've now got quite a portfolio of stuff that I've done in Second Life, and people keep asking me, you know, can they buy it, and you know, do I sell it when I'm in a sandbox and people come over and oh, thank you. People do come over, you know, and they say, oh wow, where can I buy that? And I go, well, I'm not buying it. I mean, a lot of the stuff I do is commission, but it's not like I'm doing it as a one-off, you know, for one. I've only ever done one Blender build that I did for Second Life, which was a commission job. I think I mentioned it in a previous video. It was a little bit weird, but I did get paid for it, and it was a bit of an odd job, but you know, that was the only time I've ever done a job that was just like, you know, real custom one-off job. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. 1 2 3 4. Assign, deselect. Bada bing. I'm thinking about selling stuff because I've got a lot of things. I did a video one time. If you know how to make mesh and texture, yeah, it's true, I suppose, because I've seen a lot of I've actually bought things before where, and you may you see this as well on the marketplace. Of course, people make things and then they can make it look just like real life. They can make it look really, really good, you know, like clothes or furniture and all that kind of thing. But then when you buy it and you bring it into Second Life, and you can see that it's just like, okay, you know, I paid quite a lot of money for that, and it's not really worth it. There is a lot of that on the marketplace, and it's a shame, really. Right, so let's see if I've got this round the right way. Okay, so we've got 4. So this is the idea, that this hula hoop will be lit up and rotate. We've got that 4 and that 4. There we go. Perfect. That's what I wanted. So they've all got the same colours at the moment, and obviously it's not animated. Where is... There we go. So that's the outside tube for that one. Plain. I just love doing it. I just love doing this. I get an awful lot of right, so that's the tube for this one. Of course, what I can do with this, I don't think I've allocated anything for this tube. I'm just going to copy the same materials and everything for that tube because I like the effect. So I'm just going to copy the materials over. Wink. That should now. That didn't go over for some reason. Why didn't you go over? Did I do it the wrong way around? I could well have done it the wrong way around. Material. Ah, there we go. I did it the wrong way around. Okay, so I like the effect. God, even already, I like the tube on the outside of the lights. Now the lights, you see, you get that refraction when you move around. You get that. It's exactly what happens when you've got lights inside a tube. So it's actually really quite good. I just love that effect. Fantastic. Okay, so let's go back to let's turn that off. Right, so really what I need to do now, I must save this. Let's go back in here again. Okay, so at the moment this all these textures here have all got the same nodes. I just copied the nodes from the other hula hoop, so they've all got the same color. So I might keep the first one that kind of dark and light pink. Yeah, I know what you mean. It took me a long time to get over the nodes problem, and it did. My learning curve was like that, you know. I never used nodes until probably about 3 years ago. It's one of those things you just have to really stick with it and start off with something really, you know, just learning to understand. And the other thing I find that's a bit confusing with Blender is that there's like 3 or 4 different ways of doing exactly the same thing, which, you know, it's not like you can go into one place and that's where you do everything for your materials. Yeah, that's the confusing thing for me, because, you know, you kind of learn, I suppose, over the years. And I mean, it's an amazing program, but there are some confusing things in there. Of course, when you watch video with someone on YouTube, like, and they'll go, oh yeah, and you have to click over there and you do that and you put that on there and you connect that up to, and you just think, what? You know, it gets like so confusing. I slow down the videos on YouTube to 1/4 of the speed, and it sounds really weird, but that's the only way I can follow along with these tutorials. Yeah, oh yeah, talk about it. Yeah, I'm the same. I restart. It takes me hours sometimes, you know. And then you go through, and the other thing I don't like is when you slow down their video, you then find that there's always something that they didn't say that they did in the video. That's happened a lot. That has happened a lot to me. And you know, you go in there and you think, oh God, why isn't it working? And you go back, you wind it again, you play it again, and you go through, and then you think, there's something there, you know, that they connected up. Like they'll have taken a second connector out of there and put it into something else, and then all of a sudden you realise, yeah. And especially it always makes me laugh when they say, oh, this is for people who are beginning, and I think, wow. You know, I've been using Blender for 20 years and I still can't, you know. I think realistically, I say I've been using it for about 20 years. I haven't really, I would say full-time-ish, probably since about 2004, 5, something like that. And I'm still learning. It's like that. You know, this is learning for me. This is an absolute learning. So, but of course, like a lot of these things, yeah, it's changed a lot. If you go back years, it's changed a lot. I think personally, if you start picking it up again, I reckon you'd pick it up really quick, because you'll be amazed at, you know, the menu system is where it should be. You know, really, the menu system on the previous versions were just, I found them really confusing, seriously confusing. Right, I'm going to change colours, and what I'm thinking of doing is, let's pick that colour. I'm going to pick, blue's probably, I could go that kind of blue. I'm kind of going to go dark, like a dark colour and a lighter blue. There we go, that kind of a thing. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my computer is, I always build my own computers, and this is the longest computer I've ever had, and I think I built this in 2015. And I recently upgraded graphics card. You don't need to go and get a gaming card. You can get a half decent. What am I running? I'm running a GTX 1650 Super OC, and it's got 4 gig RAM on it, and I find it's fine. Depends on what you're using it for. You know, if you're rendering massive videos, then yeah, you need a bigger card. But for stuff that I use Blender for, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to go with that, and then I'm going to pick different colors on this one. Let's go like, let's pick a green, electric green, and green. Let's go a really light green, kind of like that green. Let's pick a darker green. Will that come out? No. Okay, that's fine. I think the light green might have to be a little bit more lighter than that. Okay, let's go that green. 6-year-old pre-built with no upgrades. Okay. Yeah, Blender does push your computer a lot. It does push your computer a lot. And the other thing I remember, it reminds me actually when you say that, it reminds me of many years ago. You could never bake textures or render anything if you had Second Life open and Blender, because they both used to just crash. And it was, I can remember going into classes in World, and they always used to say, oh, you know, you can't do this, you have to do it offline. You know, they'd teach you all the way up to doing something, but then they just say, don't do it now because it'll crash Second Life. But now I can do it. You know, I've got two. Oh no, I haven't at the moment. I've thought I had 2. I did earlier. I have 2 Blender open. 2 versions of Blender. Yeah. Yeah, the new versions. Well, even on my computer. I mean, it's the same computer. It works fine. I can actually on my computer. I think the most. I've had I think the maximum amount of Second Life viewers I've had open is 6, and I could still run Blender, so it's not bad. This is looking good. like the colour. I'm going to pick bright yellow. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I think you can just go really, yeah, that looks good. This is going to pulse differently. The colours are going to pulse differently on this one. Right, what other colour can we use? We got blue, we got purple, blue, green, yellow. What other colours could we use? Kind of a turquoise. Red. Okay, we haven't got red. Yeah. There we go, we'll go red. Let's pick kind of a sicky red colour. Just a lighter red. I think this is going to look good. This is going to look good. Okay, so if I now bring the tube back, so yeah, now this is beginning to look more like a. This is beginning to look more like a hoop. The one underneath is fine, but it was obviously my first attempt at doing it, or my second attempt at doing it. And so I think when that's spinning and the lights are going round looking like they switch on and off, and the hoops are going to be spinning round, I think that's going to look good. Let me save this. I wonder, is Larrick seen asleep yet? I like the idea that I make people go to sleep. It's really good. I can, in a way though, I can kind of understand, because since I've been on Twitch, which hasn't been that long, I'm not addicted to it, but I find it just so. There's something about Twitch that was never there with YouTube. In all the years I was on YouTube from, I don't know, 12 years, 13 years now, and there was never any community really. And that was one of the reasons why I just stopped putting stuff on my channel. It was just never there. But I find really now with Twitch, generally speaking, the everyone's more friendly, everyone's more, yeah, exactly. And I think that's another thing, isn't it? And I've noticed now that YouTube is trying to copy that, and it's just not working. It just isn't working at all. But it is. I think I could talk for hours and hours and hours about all sorts of subjects really. As you can see that yeah, exactly. And you can find exactly what you want to, what you're interested in as well. You know, you can you know, the subject matter is vast, and yeah, it's really good. Right, so all I've really got to do now is animate this. And I figured out the font thing as well. That was quite a weird thing. But anyway, if we look at this, I just love that effect. All right, okay. Yeah, it was one of the first things I did when I came onto Twitch, was search Second Life, and then there was like a couple of people that had put a few videos on years ago, like 3 years ago, and there were some videos, and I thought, oh, there's no one else doing Second Life, and that's why I thought, I wonder why, you know, I wonder why no one else is doing Second Life. Now, I know Second Life is rated as 18 on Twitch, and people keep saying that it's actually banned, but I don't think it is banned. I think you just have to say on your channel that you only accept 18s, which is fine. That's what I've done, and I read all the terms of service, and I've tried to understand it. But I mean, as far as I can see, I mean, I don't do anything in Second Life that's going to infringe on the terms of service anyway. So yeah, it's mature content, but I mean, I think there were those terms of service for Second Life were probably done back in the day when it was crazy. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I actually stopped going in to Second Life, was because it got ridiculous. There was huge amount of griefing, massive amounts of really mature, disgusting stuff, really, at the end of the day. And it just seemed to be absolutely everywhere. And then, of course, they split things up. They split things up into 3 areas. So now you have to be over a certain age to get into the mature. You've got like a middle of the road Sims that, sort of PGA type stuff. And then obviously you've got Sims which are just general, which are, yeah, I mean, I can understand why they put that on, because, you do come across some pretty weird stuff. And, there is some pretty weird stuff on Second Life if you really want to look for it. But, fine. If people want to do that, then do that. I'm not going to be showing anything like that on you'd be daft. Yeah. You'd be daft to show any of that on anywhere, to be honest with you. You don't, yeah, there's some pretty weird stuff out there. I've seen well, I haven't seen worse on Twitch, but I mean, there's some pretty odd stuff on Twitch as well. And so I thought, well, what I do is I build. I'm in a sandbox. I build. That's about it, Because you don't want people to see your scripts. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not one of those people. I did actually mention in the video that I did wonder whether, because I've got a Discord, which, I mean, is, obviously I'm early days yet, but I did wonder whether anyone would be interested in stuff like this. I mean, if you're into Blender and all the rest of it, because a lot of the time, all of these people, and I can understand it, they're teaching Blender. They want you to subscribe to them or to their Patreon in order to get files, and I can understand why they're doing it. They're obviously trying to make a living and all the rest of it. But I mean, that's not my. It's not my, and I'm not precious about a lot of this stuff, to be honest with you. I like sharing what I learn, really, because that's what I do with other people. All right, okay. Yeah, because if you can, a USB device I've connected has not been. Oh, really? It's not my keyboard, is it? No, it's not my keyboard. I don't know what that is then. Is my sound? Yeah, my sound's still going. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I just thought, if people were interested in how I did this, maybe, I don't know if this is interesting, and then you can go in, you see, and then you can go in and see how it's all done. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, Discord's good. Yeah, Discord is good. But I don't know whether anyone else would really be interested in I mean, you're probably the first person that's actually shown any interest in Blender, because I get quite a few people actually asking me about Second Life. And but then again, saying that, I've had quite a few people interested in my Victorian house, so I might go back and start doing that again. Yeah, I'm the same. I can make people go to sleep with it, talking about it. I think it's funny. I don't mind people going to sleep. I do the same thing. I very rarely really watch TV, because I just have it on in the background and then fall asleep to it, to be honest. I put it on a timer and that's it. Okay, oh, this is still running. Blimey. Right, okay. Right, so I need to hide that tube. I must really name this properly because no, that's the other one. Where is it? Oh, I lost it now. Tube. That's the other one. Ah, there it is. Right, okay. Right, so basically with this, all this is really is it's animated. Okay, now I can't remember what was it I went into. Ah, it was here. Okay. Right, so basically all you do is you pick the object. So I'm giving away my trade secrets now. Nah. Okay, so you obviously you pick your object, you select your color, and these nodes, all they're doing is, I mean, I don't know whether you want me to explain what these nodes are doing, but basically you've obviously got your color, so you can pick two colors. You can pick as many colors as you want. Nobody is falling asleep. Ah, right, okay. Oh, okay. No, I'm only pulling your leg. If I didn't have to sleep, I think I would still watch people on Twitch, to be honest, because there's just so because it's so global. Everyone's up at obviously different times, and everyone streams at different times. I don't normally stream this late at night, but I had thought maybe I should stream later at night, and then, you know, because I actually enjoy talking to people, and it's a bit lonely when you stream and absolutely no one is watching. But I do it anyway, and I can talk to myself. You know, it's not a problem. But then people watch the videos afterwards, because I can see that people are watching the videos after, and I thought, oh, right, okay, because I do the same. I do exactly the same. You know, so. But anyway, all this is doing is obviously giving the BSDF here is just giving you the base kind of color. And it's just going into a mixed shader there. The rest of it then is, you've obviously got a color ramp. The color ramp basically gives you that black and white, and that is kind of giving the effect of it switching on and off. And the randomness is coming from the noise texture. Now, the thing that I learned was that there is this 1D, 2D, 3D, 4D. Now, I do not understand what they mean, but somebody did explain what each of those did, but in order to get the effect of this hula hoop switching on and off, you have to use 4D, which is another level, and all of a sudden you get this W factor. So I'm guessing, you know, that's what that does. There's some of these things in nodes I do not understand. They just work. Then we're obviously asking it to do it randomly, okay? So that's why you get that kind of nice effect of it switching on and off. That effect. So I've animated the mesh to go round, and then at the same time the lights are all basically flickering on and off randomly, and that's what's giving the effect. And that's all that is, really. And then you animate it. So you've got an emission shader there as well, which gives it that kind of bright glowy effect. And of course, when you've got the outside tube, which is effectively, you turn it into glass. Okay, you kind of make it glass, but then you're adding emission and then also refraction, because when you look through I haven't got a glass, but when you look through a glass, it doesn't look absolutely dead clear. It kind of, the light bends, and when you shine light in it, it doesn't go, it kind of goes in at funny angles and comes out all distorted, and that's what the refraction does. And so that's why when you animate that, you're getting quite a nice effect compared to the one at the back, which is just literally random flickerings of two colours, if that makes any sense. And what I really like is the effect that it has on things like this texture down the bottom, which has got very much the similar kind of effect. Makes it look like water on the floor. I quite like that. But you're getting that kind of distorted. You've probably, if you've seen any of my other videos, I constantly keep talking about how sometimes, same applies in Second Life, with texturing and modeling, stuff looks too clean. It looks too perfect. Nothing is too perfect. You know, it's like, you know, absolutely clean, straightforward lines. And sometimes I find some builders are so obsessed with getting everything squared up correctly and looking absolutely perfect, and it doesn't look right. You know, you go into some of these places and you think, well, yeah, okay, it's very clever. You know, it's very clever, but I'm all about, you know, making it look a little bit imperfect, as it were. Really, I just love that effect that it's having. Anyway, I don't know whether you watch Denver Max or whether you know who she is, but she does hula hoops, and she also plays games, but she does hula hoops, and it's just mesmerizing. I just like having it visually. It's mesmerizing. Yeah. She's a suicide girl, but she's also a model, and but I just love the when you watch the skill of what she does with hula hoops, these lit hula hoops. It's just mesmerizing, and everyone says the same thing in their chat. You know, they're just like, you know, watching somebody performing, a performing artist, and of course she does it in like a front room of some sort, and you're kind of just waiting for the hula hoop to go flying off and smash ornaments off of a you know, a fireplace and stuff like that, but she doesn't. It's just amazing. You should go and check her out, really, even just once, to go and see, and you'll probably understand a little bit of why I want to do this. She knows I'm doing it. She gave me permission to do this, because I've done several things for different Twitch people. I just like playing around, and so what I need to do now is animate. So the animation, now I never knew that you could do this, right? I never knew that you could do this I never knew you could animate nodes, and that's why you get this effect. So basically, and I'm probably going to completely cock it up, but I'm going to select the first texture. Okay, we've got that hoop selected. The only thing that I'm changing here, now you can change anything you like on any of these nodes to make an effect, but all I'm changing is the W node. The W part of this particular node here is the only thing I'm going to change. Now if you watch what happens when you see what happens, let me zoom in and you can see what happens. Okay, so I'm altering this kind of purple. Look what happens when I change. You get that effect, and I'm doing that manually. So all that's doing is it's putting a figure into the noise, from the noise texture into here, and the color ramp, and it's kind of switches the color on and off. And because it's a noise texture, it's random. It's being told to be random from this one here. So, and that's all it is. So what I typically do is I go back to like 0. Okay, so that's where I want that particular texture to start, right? And I put that figure to 0 or wherever. It doesn't really matter where you put it, to be honest, because it's going to be random. Okay, so you start you've got your what do they call this again? Timeline thing. So yeah, it's called timeline. Okay, so you put that. I've already defined the other hula hoop to have 260 frames. So you go to frame 1, okay, and you have to click on this node, and then it's a little bit finicky, I found, but anyway, you have to hover your mouse over the one that you want to oh god, what is it called? You press I. Keyframe, that's it. sometimes I forget the words for things. So yeah, you hover your mouse over it, okay, so that's where I want to animate that part of that node, okay, and see how it's put the keyframes in here. See, so it knows that I'm actually changing 01 color, which is a material over here, so it's put a keyframe in for that. I now go to, and this is something else I learned from another YouTuber, was you want to make it, I don't think in this particular instance it makes that an awful lot of difference, but every single time, even though he's got frame 1 to frame 260, every time he animates something he always goes to the next frame, and it seems to work. I did one of these kind of animated, you know, going down, looks like you're going down a tube with all strange colours and everything, and that's what he did on that. So then what I do is I then bring the number up fairly high. Again, it doesn't really matter. Put it around there. So I always just click on that node, hover my mouse. I'm not clicking inside there, I'm just hovering my mouse over it, and then I'm going to do I again, and that's it. Right, so now if we drag that along, you'll see what happens. That's all it is. It switches the colours on and off, and it's alternating the colours around. That's all it is. So now all I need to do is go and do that on each one of them. So if I go back to frame 1, right, so now we're going to work on this colour here. Select that. I'm going to knock that right down. I just always start at a low number. Okay, keyframe. See, you see it come up down here. Now it's keyframing the second colour. So I now move this all the way over here. Move that number. Again, it doesn't really matter where you move it. There we go. Hover the mouse over there. Keyframe. And you'll see the keyframes come up under each colour. And it just builds them up like that. So just go back to the front again. Select a different material. Just knock that all the way back. Hover my mouse over it. Hang on. See now, see how I would have made a mistake there, because you have to have this node selected, otherwise it doesn't know what it is you want to keyframe. It took me a while to figure that out actually, because you have to see that kind of line go around the node. I was changing this, okay, and then I was just doing that and coming out and thinking, oh, okay, why isn't the keyframe happening? You have to actually click on the node, hover your mouse over the bit you want to keyframe, and then it's added the third color. Right, and then I go over to this, adjust that, I'm going to go up really high on that one. Select it, hover my mouse over it, keyframe. There we go. And that's all it is. That is all it is. So now we're doing the yellow. So I'll go back to the beginning again. W. Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. I do that myself. I'm self-employed and I do it to myself. So anyway, good to chat. Okay, so we're back to there again. Okay, highlight the node. Yeah, see you again. Keyframe. Go to the end. Change the number. Over the node. Keyframe. Yep, see you again. Okay, last color. Last color. Rewind. Alter that. Okay, highlight the node. Keyframe. Go to the end. Adjust the number. Just go really high. Okay. Hover over that. Keyframe. That's it. Okay, so now we've got keyframes, and you can see all the materials are now keyframed into this animation. I'm going to save this. I've just got into a habit, really. I do this with all applications. I just save as I go along. I've spent too many years losing stuff after you work for it for hours and hours. Okay, so that's now the same length as the other hula hoop. So let's bring back the tube. This is still not finished yet, but okay, so now that we've got a much better tube that also looks like it's clear on the inside, which is pretty neat. Okay, so let's go back here and see what that looks like. Amazing. Now this top one is going to look a lot better when the colors are spinning around. And the other thing is, at the moment, it only seems to be animating the brighter color of the two. So it should be going bright, dark, off, bright, dark, off. But when that is spinning, that's going to look good. That's going to look like a proper hula hoop. Liking the effect, and I love this refraction kind of. It almost looks like it's blurred. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is if we go back to, I want to turn the tube off because I don't want anything to happen to the tube. So I'm going to select that. We're going to go back to animation. What I want to do now is spin those colors. So basically spinning that mesh. So we're going to go back to the beginning. Let's just put keyframe in for that. Location at the moment doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be playing around with that. These are all going to be falling basically, and they're gonna just, I'm just going to have them kind of spinning around, and then the physics of this is going to be that they're going to hit the name and then kind of just spin and fall around, you know. So I actually, it's quite interesting because I'm a little bit sad, in as much as I think about these things, I dream about these things, about the logistics behind it all. And then I thought, you know what, well, I'll explain it. I can probably explain it here. What I was going to do was, there's a certain kind of music, genre of music that Dynavomax likes. So I was going to pick just a very small piece of music and have a hula hoop roll in front of her name, and then kind of, you know, fall over and do what that hula hoop's doing at the back there, kind of, you know, spin around and then go flat. And then there's going to be a part of the music excuse me, that has a drop, what they call a drop in it, and then I was going to have just all these hula hoops drop out of the top and just fall around, and it should look really bright and colourful. That's the idea. So we go over to this frame. I am going to rotate. Now I want this to spin faster. So I need to go to frame 130. So I'm going to rotate Z 360, enter, keyframe, rotation. Okay, so we've got that. And now I'm going to go to the end again, rotate Z 360 again. So this should spin twice as fast as the one that's on the bottom, if that makes sense. Right, so let's see if that is correct. Yeah, it is spinning a lot faster. There we go. Personally, I think it should spin faster even still. Because if you ever watch her doing the hula hoops, it's very fast. You wouldn't want to get hit by one of those hula hoops, I tell you, because it would leave a serious bruise. Sometimes she actually hits herself with it, you know, and you can see that it's kind of painful. Right, so I want that to spin faster. I want it to go like really fast. So I'm going to grab those. Let's say it spins. I want it to maybe do. So this is 5 seconds long, and it's just looping. So I want it to kind of go around about maybe four times. So, God, I'm tired. I am tired. I can't even think straight. 260 divided by, let's say 5. Ah, there, perfect. There we go. So on frame. How do I know which frame I'm on? Possibly around there. Actually, there's no way of knowing what frame I'm on. That's interesting. Maybe it doesn't really matter. Right, so I'm pretty sure that I can duplicate that. Right, so I'm going to do this again, and again. Beginning to wonder whether that's actually really, I've either really screwed that up or I've made that work. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah, you can't just copy those, because of course they only really remember where they were. Duh. Okay, no worries. So I have to really get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. So the real proper keyframing was actually from here. So I need to actually keyframe. So if I select that, rotate on the Z 360, okay, keyframe, rotation, and then if we go about here, rotate Z 360 again, keyframe, rotation. Yeah, that's now going all the way through, which is really good. That should do a rotation now every second, I think. Yeah, that's fast. I like that. Wow. Brilliant. If I bring the tube back, yeah. That is looking really good. Wow, that's got like a really, oh, that is amazing. So this is a good example of actually a mistake that looks good. Because if you look at that animation, I've not keyframed it correctly, but it does look good that it's now slowing down and then speeding back up again. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's what you call a lucky mistake. Right. You know what I'm thinking? Okay, so now I've got 2 hula hoops. I think it would look good if I had 3. If we had 3, how could I make the next one different? That is just so neat. And that's actually behaving like a proper hula hoop, in as much as the colours do go backwards and forwards and they speed up and they slow down. I mean, when you watch her doing the hula hooping, I mean, it's just so fast. But it does actually work. That is unreal. I like it. I like it. I like it. How many rotations is that going around? So, yeah, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's going around 5 times. Yeah, that's fine. That's perfect. That's perfect. Right, let's save this. I'm hoping that other people find this fascinating, as I do. I mean, I'm learning. This is new to me. This is really going outside of my comfort zone. I've learned a lot. And obviously the more mistakes you make and the more that you try to do something different, like for instance the atmospherics, I learnt from doing something else, and I've obviously now brought that into other areas in other projects because I'm now not afraid of doing atmospherics. There's things like that, and you think, oh yeah, I can add that in there and I can add that in there, and this is what keeps my interest. So hey, we got 2. That is just. So how can I make something different? how can I make a different one? So if I duplicate that, okay, I've just thought, okay, so there's another sequence of light patterns, because that's really what's going to define the different hula hoops. Is, you know, I'm kind of using the same colors, but there's different patterns, and that's what makes them look different, and they're going to spin differently. So I'm just thinking, so we've got this kind of mishmash of colors on the bottom one, then the next one up has got 5 segments of colors. I had thought I could probably, maybe I could have one where it looks like the colors are potentially chasing each other, but then this one looks like that's what that's doing. It's pretty neat. So I don't know what it is. What is it about this that I just find so mesmerizing? I don't know, but it is very mesmerizing. What can I do differently? I might have to think on that, because I'm kind of getting tired now, and it's actually quite enjoyable when something comes out better than you expected. And that, I had this kind of vision of how I wanted the second hula hoop to be, and it's just come out better than I expected. It really has. I like the randomness to it, and I love the effect of the tube that's on the outside that's given it that kind of. See, if I turn that off, it looks so different. It doesn't look really very good. You put it inside a tube, and it could be that I add a little bit more. Well, do I add a little bit more emission? I could, like, ooh, way too bright, way too bright. No, it's not worth doing that. I'm happy with that as it is. I might think about how I can come up with a different kind of hula hoop, and then I think the next bit will be animating, well, doing the physics animation for the hula hoops to come crashing in is going to be relatively easy to do. Yeah, it's got me thinking now. That has me thinking. So if we go, so this is what it looks like. And the other thing I'm going to be doing is giving the camera, and you do it with the camera, that kind of effect of things, you know. So when all the hula hoops come flying down, when they come down and they hit the ground and hit the logo and all that kind of thing, you know, the name, you know, the camera's going to sort of be jolting up and down and moving around. I think they call it the earthquake effect. And again, that's really apparently it's really easy to do. I've seen a tutorial on it, and again, it's using nodes with a noise texture. And you apply that animation to the camera, which gives it that kind of, you know, to make it look like things are hitting the ground and, you know, it's physically moving. But yeah, God, if that doesn't hypnotize you. And there is something about this visually which I find really just really mesmerizing. So it doesn't actually look very good at that angle. It looks better when you look at it like that. So I think when they're all, you know, rolling around and crashing down, bouncing, and it should look really quite good. I think the effect would be really good. Of course, the other thing you could do with this, because you're using curves to create the hoops, you could actually create that, you know, you can buy that tubing, can't you? You can buy tubing, and you know, that you can put around your house, and you know, when you've got barbecues outside at night and all that kind of thing, and it's got lights in there, and you know, you've got a little app on your phone, you can change the patterns and the pulse rate and the color sequencing and all that kind of thing. It's like that, really. That's probably what it reminds me of, only it's in a hula hoop. Anyway, so keeping an eye on chat here. It's really strange when I look at the video on Twitch. It looks better than it does on my screen for some reason. I don't know why. It seems weird, but anyway. Okay. Once again, thank you to everyone who is watching my videos and comes and has a chat. That's all I really want, to be honest. That's all I really want to do, is to just, you know, share stuff, share knowledge, share chats, really. I like the way this is so random. It's really good. Anyway, let's... Ooh, wrong button. Stop that. Okay. Stop. Rewind. Save. Once again, thank you very much for watching and watching my videos, you know, when I'm offline as well. I just really appreciate it. It kind of... It encourages me to want to share more, because as you can probably tell, we have a saying in the UK, talk the hind leg of a donkey, which just basically means you can waffle a lot. I can talk about a lot of subjects, and but yeah, I think I'll ever run out of words to say, but it's encouraging that you know, people want to participate and watch. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll see you again in another video. I will be streaming again. I think what I'm going to be doing, actually, I was finding that I was streaming too long before, and it really just made me very, you know, it's quite tiring. I enjoy it, but it's really, really tiring. And then, of course, you know, you feel like you just can't do it again. So I've kind of learned, really, over the last couple of months, that doing shorter streams is probably the best way to go. I mean, I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Oh, 1.5 hours. Okay, so that's fine. You know, my last few streams have been a little bit shorter, and I've tried to be potentially, well, hopefully, a little bit more interesting in a shorter period of time, because I think, for me, for this kind of thing, I think watching somebody do this, I mean, I personally could watch somebody. I wish some of these tutorials that people put up that are only 10 minutes long, I wish that they took half an hour. You know, they could do so much more, and I would still watch them. That's the thing. I personally would still watch them but then a lot of people don't want to watch a tutorial for half an hour, you know. But I watch people here on Twitch, and they'll be streaming for 6 hours, and I will have them on in the background, and I'll be listening to them, and you know, I'll dip in and out and maybe comment every now and then, you know. and it's nice to learn. I mean, I've learned so much from watching other people on Twitch. It's been really good. Anyway, I will end this. Thank you very much. I would like to raid people. I like that idea of raiding people, but I haven't got any. I don't think I've got any followers actually in at the moment. So I don't. Raiding maybe with just one person isn't enough. when I've got a few more, then maybe it'll be worth doing. But anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you again tomorrow.